You're not just a tradie anymore. The mindset shift every business owner needs to make. Hey tradies, welcome back to the Hey Tradies podcast. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're not talking about Fergus. We're not talking about Xero. We're not talking about bookkeeping or cash flow, although those things still play a part. Today, I want to talk to you about something that has probably had the biggest impact on my own business over the last 6 years, and that's the shift from doing the work to building a business. Because I work with a lot of tradies who are technically brilliant. They're fantastic electricians, plumbers, drain layers, builders, roofers. But somewhere along the way, the business starts growing and they hire their first person and then maybe their second or their third. And without even realizing it, their job has changed. The problem is their mindset hasn't. And honestly, I don't think anyone prepares us for that. When I started Virtual Coastie, I wasn't trying to build a business. I certainly wasn't dreaming about having a team. I wasn't sitting there writing 10-year plans and thinking about leadership. I just wanted out. I was working somewhere I didn't feel valued. I didn't feel like I was making the difference I knew I could make. And then COVID happened. And like a lot of people, it made me stop and think about what was actually important. Life suddenly felt very short. And I realized waking up every day hating doing the work I realized waking up every day hating going to work wasn't how I wanted to spend my life. So I started Virtual Coastie. And honestly, my dream was pretty simple. I thought I'd work with a handful of small businesses. I'd do the work I loved, get paid fairly, have the flexibility around my family, be there for my elderly in-laws, and be there when my youngest started school. That was it. That was the vision. I wasn't trying to build an agency. I wasn't trying to employ people. I just wanted a better life. The moment everything changed. Then, about 6 months later, I found myself doing somewhere between 60 and 70 hours of billable work every single week. Not total hours, billable hours. And then there was all the emails, the invoicing, the admin, the marketing, the bookkeeping, everything else. And it wasn't sustainable. And I realized something. I hadn't built freedom. I'd built myself another job. Actually, I'd built myself a much bigger job. So I hired my first team member. Not because I wanted to become a business owner, because I needed help. Even then, I still didn't think of myself as a business owner. I just thought, I've got someone helping me. Now I see exactly the same thing happening with tradies. You start because you're good on the tools. Someone says, can you do this job? Then another, then another. Then suddenly you've got too much work. So you hire an apprentice. Then another tradesman. Maybe someone in the office. And before you know it, you've got wages to pay, vehicles, ACC, health and safety, GST, suppliers, scheduling, customers, and somewhere in there, you stopped being just the tradie. You became the business owner. But mentally, a lot of people never make that shift. The biggest mistake I see is business owners still trying to be the best tradie on the team. They still want to answer every phone call, quote every job, solve every technical problem, approve every purchase, order every part, do every invoice, fix every mistake, be involved in everything. And then they wonder why they're exhausted, why they're working nights, why weekends disappear, and why they can't take a holiday, because the business still revolves around them. Your value has changed. Here's something that took me years to understand. My value to my business isn't processing invoices anymore. My team can do that. In fact, some of them do it better than I do. And I'm actually really proud of that, because that's what good businesses do. They build people who become better than the owner at certain tasks. Today, my role looks completely different. I'm thinking about where is the business going? How do we improve our systems? How do we look after our team? How do we create an even better experience for our clients? How do we make sure the business still exists in 10 years? That's my job now, and I think the same applies to tradies. The business needs you to lead, not just produce. Working in the business versus working on the business. You've probably heard the saying, work on the business, not just in it. And honestly, I used to roll my eyes at that because when you're small, there isn't time. But now I understand what that actually means. Working in the business is doing the job. Working on the business is building the systems so someone else can do the job. One grows your income, the other grows your business. Systems aren't about admin. This is why I talk so much about systems. People think I love admin. I really don't. I love what systems create because systems create freedom. A good system means someone else can answer the phone, someone else can schedule the jobs, someone else can send the invoices, someone else can reconcile the bank, someone else can chase the payments, someone else can onboard a new customer without ringing you every 5 minutes. That's freedom. The question I ask clients, one of my favorite questions to ask clients is this: if you disappeared for 4 weeks, what would happen? Would the business keep operating or would everything stop? Because that's usually the difference between owning a business and owning a job. And don't get me wrong, most businesses start as jobs. Mine did, but over time, our goal should be to build something that doesn't rely on us for every single decision. It feels uncomfortable. Here's the part people don't talk about. Go feels uncomfortable. The first time someone sends an invoice without you checking it, scary. The first time someone answers a customer email, scary. The first time someone else quotes a job, really scary. But you know what's even scarier? Still doing absolutely everything 5 years from now, because businesses don't usually stop growing because there's no work. They stop growing because the owner becomes the bottleneck. What success looks like now. When I started, I thought success meant being busy. Now, success looks completely different. Success is watching one of my team members solve a problem without needing me. Success is knowing a client is getting looked after while I'm away. Success is being able to spend time with my family without feeling guilty. Success is creating jobs for people who love working here. Success is building something that is bigger than me. And honestly, that's a much nicer way to run a business. Action step. This week, I want you to write down everything you do in your normal week, every single task. Then ask yourself one question. Is this something only I can do? Or is this something I simply never let go of? I think you'll be surprised by the answer, because chances are there's more you can delegate than you realize. And every task that you hand over creates space for you to become the business owner your business actually needs. If you're at the stage where your business has grown, you've got staff, and you're finding yourself buried in admin, constantly putting out fires and wondering how everyone else seems to have more hours in the day, that's exactly where we can help. Whether it's implementing Fergus properly, improving your systems, taking admin off your plate through our monthly support, or simply helping you identify the bottlenecks in your business during a power hour. You don't have to figure it all out on your own, because building a successful business isn't about working more hours. It's about building better systems, backing your team, and giving yourself permission to step into the role of business owner. Catch you in the next episode. And if you got something out of today's episode, do me a favor and share it with another tradie. If you're enjoying the podcast, a quick follow or rating on your favorite podcast app goes a long way, and it helps more tradies find the show and get their business sorted.